What's up, y'all? It's just Rhonda. Welcome to my channel. You know what, y'all? I have my wrong glasses on, and I can't see with these glasses. Let me just fix that real quick. Entertain yourselves. You know what you can do? You can like the video. You can subscribe to the channel. That will be appreciated. You know, wearing glasses is sometimes a challenge. I don't know. I like them, but at the same time, they can get on my nerves. But anyway, that's a small problem to have. Okay, I feel better now. I got my good glasses on. They're not scratched up, and I can see whatever it is I need to see, honestly. Love and Marriage Huntsville is season 10, episode 2. What did y'all think of the episode? It was all right, I guess. Where do we start? Trish and Ken, Kimmy or Maurice. The couples meet up for a little get together because, now we got to reestablish these friendships. The friendships that, are from yesteryear are no longer. So we got to establish new friendships. So Kimmy and Maurice, they're going to mentor this couple over here, Trish and Ken, because Maurice and Kimmy are experts on side chicks and things of that nature, of the crossover that happens. Trisha got a husband and a boyfriend. She's living with her boyfriend, and her husband is, I don't know, entertaining to me at the very least. Anyway, they meet for dinner. It was a cute little situation or whatever. Ken is sitting here telling Maurice and Kimmy about how him and Marquez had a come to Jesus meeting, and they hashed things out. And they did. They sat there. They had a conversation. I don't know. Marquez is an interesting character. He is. And I don't know that he always understands, once the conversation is had. I think it kind of goes in one ear and, who knows what happens with it after that. But they did have a conversation. They hashed things out. And I think what Marquez was trying to express to Ken is how him and Trisha, they don't have good communication between the two of them. They don't. And I'm not sure why. Hey, Kiwan, what did you think of the episode? Are you missing, Melanie Cherie? I'm going to go ahead and say her name. I'm not going to be scared to say her name. It is what it is. It seems like, for me, Melanie Cherie's energy is just hovering around. You know what I mean? Even though she's not there, her presence is still there, and these people don't really know what to do, but they're trying to figure out. So, yeah. Marquez, and Trisha. I feel like their communication has probably always been bad because both of them are terrible at communicating. And they've been doing this thing that they do for, I don't know how many years now. It's been a very long time that they've been doing this dance that they're doing with, each other. And now Ken has entered the room. After Ken and Marquez got everything hashed out and came to some kind of peaceful understanding, or how they were going to respect each other, and Marquez was like, I don't know, I feel like we can do this, but you're going to have to talk to your girl because she, is a little hard to deal with. You think Ken and them about to make you cuss? I look forward to hearing about it. I mean, I didn't want to cuss, but I was real irritated. Child. Even here, this lady Trish, the lying liar who lies and lied again. What you say, Mel being cool, being gone is cool. I'm not a millimeter either. I'm not a millimeter. I do like Mel sometimes. Sometimes she get on my nerves just like all the rest of these reality people. But, Mel was tied in, not so much with the friendships. I feel like Kimmy and them and Marceau and them, they could be along fine without Mel because they ain't really been messing with her anyway. But when it comes to Destiny and Martell, it seems her energy is very much there. She wasn't here in this room because this don't have nothing to do with her. Trisha be over here lying, and she done went back and told her husband, boyfriend, fiance, not really, we don't know, this man, they just live together. Ken, you have so much more to be worked up about than this lady, than this kid, Marquez Marquez, because your girl is a hot mess. So she went over there and told these people that Marquez Marquez burst into her house. That's not what happened. He did not burst in the house. She said he was immediately hostile with her friend. And I was like, last week when I was reviewing the last episode, I said something was weird. Something was missing. Like you saw him walk in the door and I didn't see the little girl. So what had happened was, which makes more sense. The little girl had drinks and bags and things, and her dad was helping her carry it in. And she's the one that opened the door. He just walked in. Okay, that's what happened. That makes sense. That makes more sense that he just burst into her house, which did not happen. And at the end of the day, didn't you hear them getting out the car? Like, I feel like when people are out front of your house, you know that they're there. She could have looked out and said, oh, hey, here he comes, like with my daughter. So it wasn't like a complete shock that you had, that he walked in there, to be honest. And you had this lady there and you were in that moment talking crap about him and he could feel the energy. You know, when you walk in a room and somebody talking about you, that's what he got. And then her spicy friend had so much to say, like upon meeting this man, instead of keeping her mouth shut, lady, we don't know you, Sharon. Her friend Sharon. Sharon, I don't know. Why do you keep bringing Sharon over here, girl? We don't want her on the show. We don't need to know nothing about her. Go ahead and stay over here trying to get acquainted with Maurice. He's got lots of advice for you. Maurice is trying to talk to Ken, and once again, for the 10,000th time, he has to tell us about how he's a better father figure than Marquez Marquez. He said he's present. If you go down to the school, the principal know him, the teacher know him, and I'm like, Trish, why? Like, now this is another reflection on Trish, and I'm very much a believer in, integrating people in the family. Now, he done went and picked up kids from his last relationship from the lady that allegedly was married. I don't know too much about that, but I feel like this dude can be bouncing from one married woman to the next. He doesn't have any children of his own. And I think it's very weird, Ken, how you keep trying to take ownership of this man's kids. You ain't her fiance. You're nothing. You're her boyfriend that she lives with. And you've been there for 4 years. Okay, but that's still like, child. I don't know why he's down to the principal's office. That's all I'm saying. I feel like some things, like, rather than cause trouble within the relationship that's already kind of toxic, you don't need your boyfriend down at the principal's office. Just go down there and handle your business. What'd you say, Kiwan? No, he doesn't have kids. He doesn't have kids of his own. The previous relationship has a daughter, I believe, that he brings over there to hang out with Trisha's daughter. Which, I mean, I guess I'm handing my kid off to go with my ex-boyfriend to play with his new girlfriend's daughter. Like, they got enough mess going on over here without Marquez Marquez. And he says that so proudly. Like, I just get, I'm annoyed and tired of Ken trying to, portray this image that child. Hi, Felicia. Welcome to the chat. Ken is definitely overstepping. I mean, is it just me? I feel like I don't need my boyfriend at the school talking to the principal. As what? It's strange to me, but hey, I'm old school. So maybe there's things, people doing out here that they didn't used to do. I just feel like these women get boyfriends and involve their boyfriends way too daggone much. You don't need to be down to the school. Whether Marquez Marquez is there or not, that doesn't change my mind about that. Stay your ass at home. Fix something. Do some push-ups. I don't know. Looks like he does a lot of push-ups, squats, and lifts weights and things. They only been together 4 years. Stay your ass from around the school. Trisha's still married to this man. You're not even talking about her ex-husband. This is why you need to worry about what Trisha is doing and not what them kids is doing. And here come Kimmy projecting. What she say? Kimmy says, sometimes the people, I guess the people must mean Kiowa. Sometimes the people will rather your children not like the new person rather than like the new person. Is that what Kiowa was doing? Was Kiowa trying to keep Monster from? I don't know. I don't know what Kiowa was doing. Monster is a quiet kid. He doesn't seem like he has a problem with Kimmy. I feel like it's an awkward situation based on the way things transpired. Like when you go down to the barbershop to take your kid to get a haircut by somebody's husband, and then, y'all do whatever it is you do down to Credit One. I don't know. I don't know if Kimmy was bending over chairs at Credit One, but she was definitely down to the barbershop trying to get to know this lady's husband. So now she over here. I feel like that was a shot thrown at Kiowa, talking about new people. The old people don't want the new people to be nice to the step people. Girl, stop. She's Team Kim, Team Ken. Ciao. These clowns. Did I put it up here? Yes. So I guess Martell and Destiny, that they're just gonna film with each other this whole season, because Martell don't have no friends. Even without Mel there, the Scots ain't messing with him. So he has to go do things, with Destiny. His best friend from high school. This is the story that they tell every time they get in the scene. Destiny and him have been friends for years, all the way back in high school. So now they're meeting in strange places. Down to the realty office. Now they're at a furniture store. So he meets Destiny at a furniture store. Clearly, it looked like some old furniture. It don't look like new furniture. No shot at your, store, lady. But that looks like a bunch of old shit piled up. And you got to dig through it to find what you like. It looked more like a flea market or some type of furniture, old furniture warehouse where you're going to go buy an old dresser and paint it. Martell is a loser? Yes, 100%. Hey, T, you made it. You made it this time. T came in here last week asking me to redo the thing because she missed it. I was like, redo it. No, we can't redo it. Anyway, this furniture store. He's down at this furniture store, and Destiny comes through. She claims she got a bigger storage unit. We don't know. We haven't shot any photos over there, but what we do know is she has somebody that she's hired to decorate her storage unit. Is she for real? She's hired someone to come decorate her furniture. Her storage unit. Girl, to sell some candles. Make it make sense. I didn't go to her website, but I promise you, if I go to her website, I bet you ain't nothing there different than it was the last time. I'm just saying. She went down to the Dollar Tree and got a bag to put that stuff in. Yeah, some of the people have their businesses set up like a storefront. I feel like there's a lot. I used to have one. There's a lot of studios like for salons and things and little boutiques and things, but the traffic is the people that are coming there with appointments mostly. I don't know. Do y'all Do y'all go down to the storage units and things and look for little stores to buy things from? I'm just asking. I'm not familiar, but she has one. She has a decorator. So I guess at some point, we'll go down to the grand opening of her new, bigger storage unit. Martell said he is purchasing furniture for his investment property. Now, he said he got to put his baby mama in there. And I'm wondering, is that even a good investment? Does that make sense? You have an investment property. Is it that same house that he was trying to sell last season and he has 3 realtors now, four? If he asked Destiny trying to get them to sell that house that everybody walked in and was like, it's small. Which, is neither here nor there. Because if you don't need a lot of space, you don't need a lot of space. It's a cute little house. All I'm saying is that the place that he's getting ready to put? Martell was over here being squatter in somebody's house. And Chris Fletcher had to beg him to get out. Now he's at another, I don't know where he lived, because we keep going to, different locations. Him and Destiny will film everywhere under the sun except for where they live. Destiny probably live in an apartment, because what happened with her divorce. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. The house that he was trying to sell Sonny. Is that the one? T, you be doing real estate investigations. What's happening with that property? He got an investment property. When you get an investment property, now I'm just asking because this is not really, my area of expertise. But I'm thinking if you get an investment property, isn't the point to rent it out to make profit? Not Side Chicks Unite. Side Chicks Unite. Ariane is moving into Martell's investment property. It took 10 years, and what she got? Still nothing. He over here talking about he's still deciding. She is currently in the, wifey to be, boot camp to see if she's training program, see if she's ready. She's from peasant to wife material, possibly. But I'm just wondering, what do you do with this investment property? You don't make any money off of it. And we know little Martell be running around there tearing things up. They're going to have to redo the whole thing. No wonder why he's down to the flea market looking for stuff. Because he know them kids just going to tear it up anyway. He must can't sell it. Whose house is it? Frank, Fred? What's his friend's name? I don't even believe that's his property. Martell be over there lying so much. No, he not trying to marry her. Who goes through all these years together, waiting for the ex-wife to finally, leave the man, then to go through a training program to see if you are going to be the next, possibly? I like Fred. I feel like that's Fred's house. Fred be over there like, this is my opinion. This is just what I think. That's right, friends. Hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. I think, Martell's like Donald Trump. Like, he got dirt on all these dudes. They messed around and did things be, in front of him. Now they're all worried. I feel like Fred be letting Martell pretend like he's doing things, building and things over at, his various properties. So when he come to film, then he has something to talk about. But, other than that, he's finna put his currently girlfriend, possibly wifey, in that house. So he gonna live in one place and she's gonna live in the investment property. See how that doesn't make financial sense? Till another Sheree comes along? Yeah. Well, that didn't last long. Sheree said he wasn't about to kick his feet up or bring none of them children running around in her mansion. Not gonna happen. Y'all, here we go. We back over at, where is it called? Somebody's manor with bulldozers and things. Again. What is the name of this place that they're supposed to be building? Marceau and Tisha. Every season, Marceau and Tisha have to show up at some construction site so it looks like they're doing things. So Scott Manor, that's where we're at. We're at Scott Manor, child. We still bulldozing things. Is that house going to be, he keeps saying 10 acres, 10 acres. Okay, so put 10 acres of what? This pits and holes that y'all got to bulldoze and blow up and things? Mm-hmm. I mean, so they're going to be out there by themselves in the middle of the woods with a big ass house. And who does the plumbing? Where's the electricity people going to come? When they start a neighborhood, they usually lay down all the streets and things. I don't know. I don't live in Alabama. I'm in Florida. We do it different down here. I guess y'all going to be out there. What is it? Hell, them kids going to be graduated before they get that house done. And then they're going to be like, we have too much house. We're going to have to break it on down. They bragging on a concrete slab. That's what it was. That's what it's the same thing every time. Tisha said she's still waiting on her place. her office, her brokerage office. It don't matter because she don't broker no more than he constructs things, but she's still waiting on her brokerage office. Now, is this the same office that she was over there at the other construction site with the chairs already in plastic? And I said, why are we having furniture delivered when the plaster is still on the floor? Is that the one? Because they be having so many properties. If they're not like in one house, and this is our rental house, this is our bought house, we need renovating. Child, I can't. I cannot. They're in North Alabama. I mean, on a mountain with some rocks and some ditches with a slab of concrete, like Tamika said. I don't know what they're doing, playing in our face over here trying to act like they, Meanwhile, a whole towns have been constructed. Have y'all heard about the new town? I don't think it's Alabama. I think it's somewhere around there. Somewhere in them southern states, in them rather rebel states. Anyway, they're building a town with the white people. They said, y'all can't come in. They're segregating themselves. And I was like, great idea. Let's do that. Segregate yourself. Make it known. Put a big rebel flag in the middle, where the homeowners, where the neighborhood is like, Hunter's Reserve or whatever. Just put your flag up so we know not to fool around over there. Just saying. Anyway, over here. Where they at? Scott Manor with some concrete and bulldozers. Marcel over here acting so proud of himself, like he doing so much. He over here blaming Kimmy and Maurice for bad communication, and that's not why he's done with their place. And I'm like, I don't know about that. Even Tisha had to, doubt whatever he's saying over there, because one thing we do know, Kimmy is very clear about what she wanted. She told you in the first place that, y'all don't be finishing things. But it seems like she went home and Maurice convinced her that, yeah, they were going to let him do it. He has so many projects. He named, how many things did he even name? He was like, we got the house over here and this over there. He had about 5 things. He's doing things the way, what's her name? Angela Oakley is, only on a bigger scale. Nothing done, nothing finished. I have not seen one finished product. They sat down with the slutty vegan lady and discussed her being in the plaza. Is the plaza done? I ain't seen it. All we see is shovels and Tisha showing up to, work sites with high heel shoes on, like she just came from an office that's also not ready. Come on. Marquez, he meets up with Maurice because, like I said, Marquez is in town. Y'all might, Trish and Ken, whatever y'all thought was going to happen, it's not going to happen because Marquez is here. He ain't going nowhere. He making friends over here. Maurice want to hear both sides of the story because y'all was saying, what it was. And so he want to hear what Marquez had to say. Marquez says Trish does what I say. Shoot, I can't read my own writing. He said Trish, Jesus. She works to make things difficult, makes it difficult for him to see his daughter. I believe it. Now I do, because I see how she operates. She doesn't want him around because she has appointed Ken the new daddy. So she doesn't want him around to see his daughter. She doesn't like the peace. I feel like, why, Trish? Does she get off on watching them fight over her? Does that make her feel some type of way? I wonder. I agree with that because it seems so disingenuous, to be honest. Maurice wants to help push their storyline so he and Kimmy don't have to talk about anything. Yeah, I agree 100% because they damn sure don't have nothing to talk about. And they good at asking questions and acting like they about to mentor anybody. The person they need to mentor is lying ass Trish because she's the one stirring up the mess over here. Child. Maurice told Marquez told Maurice what really happened. And now he's like, that sounds like we are. He's like, that sounds about right. You know what I'm saying? You know, when you expecting somebody to come by, he didn't just bust through her door. Um, so he can see how Trish is exaggerating and clearly like keeping the mess up between, these two men. He sat up there and told Maurice that he was done with his marriage after the first year. He said after the first year he realized that he didn't want to be married. And I seen him doing an interview probably with Carlos. He was talking about how he was just depressed and miserable and he just staring at the ceiling fan because he didn't want to be there. So, as much as Trish is full of it, so is Marquez. I'm only on his side when he's right. But so he stayed in this marriage, and this marriage was like, I don't know, horrible for both of them, I'm sure. Then he said her people start passing away, and he felt like he couldn't leave, even though he was not there. And while he was somewhere staring at the ceiling fan, being miserable in his married life, trying to prove his father that he could last 5 years, she was over here sending chocolate bar emojis to Ken. She don't want to commit though. And instead of her just saying that, like, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think it's crazy that, Ken is pressuring someone who's not in any rush to get a divorce to do it. Like, what is you pressuring her about? Why did you feel like you needed to rush over there and, rescue this lady and y'all buying houses together and things? I think that lady kicked him out. I think that's what the street said. The street said the last lady he was living with found out about him and Trish, and she kicked him out. So then he came over there and stayed with her. Now they have a house together, but she's still married. And you arguing with the man about boundaries. Talk to your wife. She the one that don't understand boundaries. I think Marquez is holding on to this situation so he can be on TV. He comes from a long lineage of entertainers. And if you've not heard him say that, check out some of his interviews. You'll be rolling. He said Trish still wants him. Oh, poor baby. No, she don't. She doesn't still want you. I don't believe that. I think she just doesn't want to be married to Ken. And as long as you're around, you know what I'm saying, and she doesn't have it. As soon as the papers get signed, Ken gonna be pressuring her to get married. Wonder why. Wonder why Ken is under such a, I don't know. It's been 4 years. I guess maybe after 4 years, how are you going to be married to somebody and living with somebody for 4 years? They just as bad as Martell. Over here talking about he think about his divorce every day. I forgot about that. He has beautiful eyes. Evolution 101. He has beautiful eyes. I'll give you that. I mean, I think he's a little tick, tick, boom. Be careful being caught up in somebody's beautiful eyes. Then you'll be down to the, trunk of somebody's car, like Ted Bundy was doing. You fell asleep at Scott Banner. It can happen, It can happen. Marquez, they arguing over paperwork. This had me confused too. Marquez says that what did he say? He didn't sign the divorce papers because it said they didn't have no kids together. I'm like, one of them kids is 18. Your argument don't even make sense. Like you're not paying child support. What is he going to do? Take your children away? He already did that. He's down to the principal's office. Everything that you're worried about happening has already happened. So you might as well just sign that paperwork and, let that lady go. And then she can figure out other ways to dodge this man, down to the chapel. Instead of just saying, I'm not trying to get married. He said he filed the papers. And the only reason why she filed papers is because Ken made her do it. And I'm like, well, if you filed the papers, then whose fault is it that the papers say your kids aren't there, or y'all don't have kids together? Whose papers are those, Marquez? Get your story straight. You want to hang on because you feel like you won't get to be on the show. You know what I'm saying? He might have thought, and I can't even say it's just the show because they've been doing this for 4 years. We just met these people. They've been pretending, not actively trying to get divorced for a really long time. She's so goofy. Marquez and Ken have another sit down. And then Trish asked her friend to come over. I'm like, why she do that? Why she ask her friend to come over there? She said he owes her an apology. No, he doesn't owe her an apology. She was doing a lot. And why would you, Trish, I'm making shit up. Ugh. Marquez rings the doorbell and walks in the house again. Now, I feel like he didn't really know it was the issue last time, not like that. He doesn't know that this lady went and told Ken that he busted in the house and was disrespectful to her friend. He doesn't know that. Y'all know he's coming in there. He's coming to film. He rang the doorbell and walked in the door. He's definitely a line stepper, habitual even. We're going to give him an habitual line stepper tag. However, Ken is like, it's cool. We're not going to worry about it. And we're going to get this conversation going. Ken wants to discuss boundaries. And Marquez was like, we should have been discussing boundaries before you moved in the house with my wife. Not wrong, because remember, they just got this house together. She moved him in his house, the house he used to live in. I feel like she likes the mess. Like, if you're that kind, you have to like the mess. If you're always like doing stupid stuff, like trying to create chaos within your own home. Who came back? Yes, the friend came back, child. Why? We don't know. We don't know. She came back. It was weird. It was really weird. He comes, she rings the doorbell and she walks in the house. Then she's just standing there looking a fool while they screaming at each other. By the time she got to the house, they were already upset because this man started talking about boundaries. He says what happened again. Because I don't feel like Ken knew it that way, because we know how Trish spin a story. You know, like how she went over Martell's house, but didn't make it over there. But then she went over there a few times. Remember that story? Well, this story is no different. Now he's sitting up here all puffed up, like, you know, got his arm around her. They sitting on the couch, and Marquez looking at them like they a fool. The hell? Ken is over here trying to son somebody. Like, why is he talking to this man like he's somebody's child? I'm going to sit here and get some things straightened out. And what you need to do is understand boundaries. Shut up, Ken. What you need to do is talk to your wife. Should the man be walking in the house? No. But that was an easy conversation, and he told her that. He told her what he did, and he said, you could have handled it different. Easy. She could have just been like, you know, I know you didn't walk in my house. Please don't do that. But if you see him carrying things for your daughter, Trish, I feel like she's making a mountain out of a molehill. Why do he have to apologize to Sharon? I do not know, because Sharon owes him an apology. He walked in on them talking about him, and then she felt like comfortable enough to say something to this man that she's never met before, when she should have just been keeping her mouth shut. But no, they think that he owes this lady an apology. I'm going to go ahead and disagree. I don't think he need to apologize to her about anything. She's standing there. Marquez got up. He was like, and introduces himself. Hi, I'm Marquez. I feel like, you know, and then he somewhat gave her an apology anyway, because he said, I'm sorry about the energy last time. Like, I didn't know you or what have you. Then he was like, I mean, do you want something to drink? Can you get us drinks? What is happening? You're having people over invited to your house, and y'all are sitting there enjoying a tasty beverage. Can me and Miss Sharon have some too? Ken's sitting over there mad. He's still mad that he moved in this man's wife's house. I don't know what Ken is mad at. What kind of juice is he putting some of that, strongman juice powder in his juice? Get all puffed up like that. Yes, Marquez was doing too much, but that's what he's here for. Imagine if we didn't have him. Would we be entertained by Ken and this lady, Trisha? No, we would not. They're only entertaining when Marquez is there. I feel like. Otherwise, she just lying about where she was, when she went there, who she was there with. And she's always pissed off. I'm so pissed off right now. Girl. Ken has to go into yet another diatribe about how he's a better father than Marquez. And I want him to stop. It's a borderline obsessive at this point. I want to know why it's so important to Ken to take ownership of this man's children and this woman's children. You really need to just fall in line. You need to check your own boundary. He tells this man, these are your children, but this is my family. I mean, okay. If that's how you want to look at it, and you're like, no, you just her boyfriend. Ken gets so worked up when Marquez tells him the truth. You're right. He is insecure. He comes off very insecure, and he can't hide behind them big old muscles because it's not, we can still see it. They're going back and forth. I don't know. This Ken, he's patting himself on the back for being the man of the year. And, are you coming to her competition? She's got a competition. Are you going to be there? And see, this is like what he means by them standing in the way of him seeing his daughter, because he did say something about them telling the wrong time or something. Now that I see how she moves, I can see how she would probably do that. I can see how Trish would be giving him very limited information. And he said, yes, I'm going. Didn't I give you $500? Now he wants to downplay that too. Ken. You don't get any bonus points for doing the things that you're supposed to do. And Ken is like, and you don't get any bonus points for paying the bills because you're her boyfriend and you live here. And I'm like, it's true. It's true. Both sides. He doesn't. But when he doesn't have any money and you want to talk about how you had to pay for his gas, and, you always want to point out, we had to pay for him to come to the graduation, and point out the things that you said he wasn't doing. So then he steps up and he gives you the $500. $500. Do you know how much this stuff costs? Probably not. Because y'all don't tell him. And I feel like y'all made a decision to put the girl in all of these things, ballet and dance and gymnastics and all the things she does. You make those decisions because y'all are a family and he can't afford it, and you want to call him out for not doing his part. So if you're going to call him out for that, then say what it is when he did. Kim was pissing me off like Trisha be pissed off. They always want to talk about how he don't contribute, and he probably doesn't. I'm just saying, Ken, you're weird. Marquez tells Trisha this is her fault. Oh my God. It's both of their fault, but I see what he's saying, because she, like I said before, I feel like is working to keep him out of the picture. She wants him out of the picture. She just replaced him with this new man, and she wants him to get out of the way and then take advantage of opportunities to say he's not around. It's weird. I think they all play a part in this mess, all three of them. It's a hot mess. Ken sat up there and said, your kids are not affected by your absence. Okay, I disagree with that. Are they traumatized? Probably not traumatized. He's still around. I feel like at this age of their kids, they know who their father is. They know what to expect from him. They don't probably have any unrealistic expectations of him. They just hang out with him when he's around. And I feel like Ken does a good number on that little girl. She's at a reaching pre-teenage, I think. He does a good number on her to be like her hero. So then she, has the feeling about her dad, and the way her mother acts when he's around. She's clear how the feelings are between the grown people. So, they know what's going on. And I feel like their energy definitely has an influence. Not so much on the older boy because he probably sees that they're all full of shit. But the younger, the little girl, I feel like, and he is like fighting. That's all he talks about. My daughter, my daughter, my daughter, my daughter. Because he knows that boy is old enough to know what's really going on. At this point, they're screaming. They're talking about divorce papers. He's talking about them saying that they said they don't have any kids together. They're saying he's lying. She went and, got the divorce papers. This lady, Sharon, is trying to interject. Sharon, shut up. Trisha brings the divorce papers out, and now, they're shoving it in his face. It was real aggressive how they were shoving these divorce papers in his face. Ken is like spitting at the mouth and veins popping out of his neck, and his nose flared up, smoke coming out of his ears. He was ready to charge. It feels like he's seeing red. It seems like he's seeing red. And Marquez, with his little bitty self, he kept putting himself in the line of fire. He was not punking out. He kept going. I wasn't mad at it, Ken. Because why are you this worked up? It's a screaming match over divorce papers that your wife haven't signed. None of them. Not either version. She ain't signed his papers or her papers. None of the papers are signed. So right now, you're still sitting there with that man's wife. And you hate that. And mad at him. At the end of the day, he's like, so what is the boundaries? Because at this point, he's like, I don't even know what the hell I did. I came to the house to drop off my daughter. You had your friend go after me. Good grief. She's mad because he's in Atlanta. I mean, because he's in Huntsville. He damned if he do or damned if he don't. And where was those kids? Because that fight got escalated to the point where Ken was up on his feet. And it wasn't security, so production got to hold him back. That's a good look. I wonder if the principal saw that. I wonder if the people at the school are watching you try to, rip this man apart, Ken. That's why you don't need your boyfriend down to the school. Just for reasons like that. You think the people in Huntsville at the school don't watch this? They look at him over here about to be violent towards this guy. He didn't even do nothing. I don't know. So I'm guessing, at least right now, they don't understand. They don't have any understanding of boundaries. We're going to have to go all the way back to the beginning. I don't know who's going to make this right between these people, but we're just at episode 2. So I'm sure there's going to be a lot more dysfunction going on over here between Trish and Ken. Ken, ask that woman why she won't get a divorce. You are directing way too much of your energy towards Marquez and not enough energy, at your doggone self. For moving in there with that man's wife. That's where it ended, with Ken blowing a gasket. Next week, Jalen is back, and he's let Maurice know how he felt about the way he was treated versus how Monster was treated. And they said something about him looking at Marceau as a father figure, and Kimmy was nodding her head, yeah. And I was like, that's wild that your son sees Marceau as a father figure and not Maurice, your husband, the one whose house he lived in, the one you chased down at the barbershop because you saw his picture on Instagram. Yeah, so I guess that's about it. That's where it ended, y'all. Love and Marriage Huntsville season 10, episode 2. What do y'all think? Are we adjusting? Are we adjusting to the new normal over here in Huntsville? I guess it is what it is. And we're going to be here whether we talk smack. We can't stand them, but we're going to be right here. Just like tomorrow, me and T, we're going to be here at 8 o'clock. It's the final part 3 of this Real Housewives of Atlanta reunion. So yeah, y'all, we'll see you tomorrow, and that's it. That's all, y'all.